All right, good morning, Math 7. Today we are talking about adding integers, and I am sad I am not there to be able to share the story of Eli with you in person. Eli the elephant, you've seen him up on the board and asked me about him. And by the way, I'm trying to do this with a large cat sitting on my shoulder, so if he jumps off of me, you might hear an oof. All right, learning targets is to add integers. So there's rules. It says if the numbers have the same sign and we're adding them, we keep the sign and we just add the numbers. If they have different signs, we subtract their absolute values. So let me tell you a little bit about Eli to start with. Eli is an elephant, and he goes and he wants to collect marshmallows. Where Eli lives, there's marshmallow trees. And he carries his bag. I know that's a weird looking bag. And he collects marshmallows. So he has, when he collects them, his marshmallows look like this. And he puts them in his bag as he collects them. So here he has collected 4 marshmallows. Now, there are some days, or one day, he comes across a bush that has, because that's where they grow, magic marshmallows. They look a little bit different. But Eli gets excited because they're, more marshmallows. So he starts putting his magic marshmallows into his bag. But then he notices something. Poof, poof, poof. His marshmallows start disappearing. He's not sure what's going on. He wonders, does he have a hole in his bag? I don't know. So then he adds some more magic marshmallows. And, poof. He has another 2 marshmallows disappear. But now he has some magic marshmallows. So he's like, all right, I'm going to take my magic marshmallows. I'm going to go hunt some more. So he comes across regular marshmallows again. He puts in 2 magic marshmallows. Or regular marshmallows, excuse me. These are the regular ones. And before he knows it, poof, poof. He's left with just 1 magic marshmallow. So he figured out he can add all the regular marshmallows he wants. He can also add all the magic marshmallows he wants, but when they come together, they go poof. So that is our, if the numbers have the same sign, if we have 2 regular marshmallows and 2 regular marshmallows, we end up with 4 regular marshmallows. If we have 2 magic marshmallows, being the negatives, and 2 negative magic marshmallows, we end up with 4 magic marshmallows, or 4 negative. However, when we have 5 magic marshmallows and 2 regular marshmallows, they cancel each other out. So we subtract the absolute values. So 5 minus 2 is 3. But I'm going to be left with extra magic marshmallows. So it's negative. If I start off with 7 regular marshmallows and I add 4 magic marshmallows, 4 pairs are going to poof together. So 7 minus 4 is 3. but I'm going to be left with positive or regular marshmallows. So positive 3. So let's take a look at some of these questions. The first one says -1 plus 5. So if I have -1, that's a negative, 5 positive. So I'm adding opposite signs, a positive and a negative. I'm going to subtract. 5 minus 4 is, I'm sorry, I said the answer. 5 minus 1 is 4. And the positive number has a greater absolute value, so the answer is positive. The next one, I have positive 15 plus negative 25. So I'm going to subtract my numbers. 25 minus 15 is 10. And I have the negative has the higher absolute value, so my answer will be negative. Or in terms of Eli, I had 15 regular marshmallows, 25 magic marshmallows. I had more magic marshmallows, so it's going to be negative marshmallows that are left. All right, on the next one, I have -8 plus -9. So I have basically 8 magic marshmallows and 9 magic marshmallows. I'm adding 2 negatives. I'm adding the same sign. So that leaves me with -17. -7 plus 11. I have -7, positive 11. Oops, didn't change color. So I'm adding a positive and a negative, so let's subtract. 11 minus 7 is 4. The positive number is bigger, so the answer is positive. The absolute value is bigger. All right, the next one, I have +1, -30. I'm adding opposite signs. So 30 minus 1 is 29. And the negative has the bigger absolute value, so it's -29. The next one, I'm adding a positive and a negative, so I'm going to subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2. This -6 would have the larger absolute value, so it's -2. Next one, -51 and -9 are both negatives. So I'm going to combine the negatives. I can also think of this as like a debt and a debt. If I owe Miss Harden $51 and I owe Miss Sprague $9, that means I owe a total of $60. So if you weren't really jiving with the magic marshmallows, maybe money will work. 2 plus 29, same as we've been doing since 2nd grade. 2 plus 29 would be 31. The next one is $27 plus -6. So I'm adding a positive and a negative, so I subtract. I get 21. And this time, the positive has the higher absolute value, so it's positive. So that one I might think of, I have $27 plus a debt of $6 to Mr. Ratliff, which means I have $21. -5 and -11 are both negatives. So that means I'm going to have 2 debts or 5 magic marshmallows and 11 magic marshmallows for a total of 16 magic marshmallows. All right. 3 word problems. Dana recorded a temperature drop of 2 degrees and a second temperature drop of 3 degrees. What is the total change in temperature? Write an addition equation and then solve. So a drop of 2 degrees would be a negative, so -2. And then an additional drop of -3 for a total of -5. Kara entered a chili recipe into the neighborhood cook-off. 9 judges rated each recipe with a thumbs up, +1, or a thumbs down, -1. She received 5 thumbs down votes. Ooh, chili must not have been good. And 4 thumbs up votes. So -5 plus 4 positive. So her overall would be -1 as her final rating. While playing golf, Mike got +2 on the first hole and -2 on the second hole. Write and solve an addition equation to represent his score after the first 2 holes. So we start off with 2, or +2, and then we add a -2. +2 plus -2 gives me 0. All right, make sure you put your notes away in your binder.